Jos, that was a day's play, I guess, that swung back and forward quite a few times. Where do you reckon it ended up?
Maybe a little bit in the balance, like you said. I think having lost the toss, we got into a very good position with we were 100 and something for 2 and then 170 odd for 3. So a shame not quite to be able to capitalise on that. But I think it showed there's a little bit in the wicket for both batters and bowlers. I think if you tried to play well and applied yourself, there was runs to be had. But likewise with the ball, it swung a bit all day and the odd one nipped around. So I think if you bowled well, there were wickets to be had as well.
Were you expecting, when Australia won the toss, to be asked to bat? It's not something that happens very often here.
No, exactly. And I think we were going to bat. There's not many times Australia bowl first, is there? So, I think we were a little bit surprised, but I think it showed that there's probably a bit of indecision, just the way the wicket looked, and it's probably not quite how an oval wicket would look 10 years ago, where you just turn up and know you're going to bat. So, like I said, I think it's actually been a pretty good cricket wicket, a bit in it for both.
Jos, do you feel you're sort of rediscovering your test match tempo, if you like, after a sort of tricky start to the series?
I think I've just found it hard all series. Obviously, an excellent attack. I just don't think I've played very well, so I haven't really got in. A period at the start of your innings is always tough, and against a very good attack, you have to be on it straight away, and they challenge you straight away. So I just haven't quite been good enough to get through those periods. But I think the last couple of games just tried to fight as hard as I could. I don't necessarily feel great at the crease, but just trying to just scrap my way through it.
Jos, could you talk about the value that Rory Burns has brought to the side in this series? He obviously came in under a lot of pressure, but has ended up averaging in the 40s when every other opener is in the not even averaging 10, pretty much. He's brought real solidity to the top of the order, and he's kind of didn't quite work that way today, but he's giving the middle order a chance, isn't he?
Yeah, he's played brilliantly. I think one of the big things that impressed me straight away with Roy when I came across him was he just acted like an international cricketer, I think. And I know he probably didn't quite have the results as early on, but I think he handled that brilliantly. And like you say, you guys put quite a lot of pressure on him coming into this series, but he stood up and handled it brilliantly. I think that shows the character he's got. He's got a huge amount of skill, and he's been the standout opening batsman, hasn't he, in county cricket for a number of years, and he's earned his chance. And I think as much as the runs he's got, it's the character he shows, which has stood him brilliantly throughout this series. And like you said, he's I think opening the batting in England's probably the hardest job you can do in Test cricket. So I think he's had a fantastic series.
Stefan Mendy.
Hi, Jos.
Where am I looking? Sorry.
What was it like putting that partnership on with your good mate, Jack Leach? What were you talking about out there? And take back some memories to Somerset under-11s?
Yeah, I didn't bat with him much back then. It was good fun. Like I said, I've found batting hard this summer in this series, so it was actually nice to sort of relax and try and have some fun. And sort of course, that style of batting comes quite naturally to me. I spent a lot of my career trying to bat like that, so I enjoyed it, especially with him at the other end.
You talked a little bit about the scrapping and sort of fighting nature of today's play. Is that quite a satisfying thing right at the end of this endlessly long summer, that you've still kind of got that fight and that discipline to do what you guys are trying to do out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been a big test of everything this summer, like you say, both mentally, physically. But any game against Australia, is obviously a massive game, and you just find something within yourself to do it for your team. And I think any time you get to, and the more you can remind yourself of that, the more you find energy to do that as well. So like you say, it's been a long summer, but at the same time, with people talking a lot about that, you can sort of start to believe that as well. Even necessarily, you might not actually be feeling that tired or that jaded, but it gets branded around a lot as a reason why you might not be playing that well, and you start to believe it because you're hearing that. And I think you have to be strong to sort of understand how you are feeling. If you are feeling a bit tired and jaded, how you manage your energy, but actually recognising if you're not, then don't act like you are. So to try and be very honest with how you're feeling.
Okay, I'm confused now. Are you tired or not?
I actually asked myself the same questions, I think, because at times I felt I have it, and then other times I think people have written quite a lot about the scheduling and how hard it is, and you actually start to believe that, even if you might not be feeling that way, but you start to hear that a lot, and that sort of gets put in your brain a bit that you should be feeling tired, or you should be. So I think, yes, I've sort of gone around that question quite a lot, haven't I?
Take a couple more off. How we doing? Don't stand yet, no worries.
With the situation at 8 down, did you just give yourself the license to go out there and try and hit as many sixes as you could?
Yeah, I think just trying to, the new ball was about 10, 12 overs away as well. I thought obviously that would be the hardest time to try and attack. So with the bowlers having bowled a lot, and it just felt like the best time to try and score some runs, and try and, like I said, find a bit more enjoyment in my batting as well. So just trying to look at the scoreboard and trying to think what's the best way for us to go forward here.
Just like top order batsmen are so fussy about number 3, number 4, like what position they go in. So you get tossed around between 5, 6, 7 all the time. Does it work differently down there in the middle order, or would you like to have like one fixed position?
Not necessarily. I think in the middle order, a lot of the time you're just trying to play the situation as you see it. You know, you can come into quite similar situations whether you're at 5, 6 or number 7. So I try not to let that affect me. I'm used to moving around the order quite a lot in one-day cricket, so I think probably more in teams that are performing near their best and more settled sides. I think you naturally tend to get more settled things, but developing teams and guys trying to find the best balances, and with injuries, etc., there may be times where you have to move around the order, but I don't think it should affect me too much.